I had just came out of the Presbyterian home, which is now closed, and that was a group home. And I stayed with one family before them, and they had 2 other kids that just needed more attention, and they couldn't have another foster kid. So my caseworker, Amy Witt, knew Hope Tree and knew of Norman Jimmy, and she placed me here. I felt really invited. It was just like a normal home, just like you just walk into anyone's home, and Grandma had like dinner ready and like showed me to my room and everything. It was like just a normal family setting. She's just like a grandma. That's what we've always called her. It's G-Ma, Grandma, or Grammy, and that's what we've always said. So, and she just feels like my own grandma. He was the only father figure I've ever had, because my dad's been, in his addiction for years. And he showed me what it's like to care for someone unconditionally, and he lived his whole life serving other people. And that's just like an amazing testament. And his funeral, like Grandma always says, he preached his own funeral. I mean, he was a school bus driver, in the Army, rescue squad, foster care. I mean, he never once stopped to think about himself and always cared for everybody else. And that's the kind of person I want to be. I started off in criminal justice, and the longer I studied that, I wanted to do probation specifically. So I researched like what degree I needed to have. I switched my degree to general studies so I could transfer to a 4-year university, which is what I'll do this fall. Since then, I've graduated from CVCC with my associates in general studies. When I finish Old Dominion in about a year and a half, I will have my bachelor's in criminal justice with a minor in human services. I think I had a lot of obstacles to overcome than most kids. Adjusting to a new foster family, not having your birth parents in your life, and when I got older, making the choice to not have them in my life at all because, their addiction, and it's hard to have a relationship with someone like that. You don't want to say goodbye, to your parents, but there has to be a certain limit where you have to protect yourself, and you have to say no, and you just have to focus on the things that you're trying to achieve, and focus on the people that do love and care for you rather than the ones that don't. Jesus was a people person. He loved all people. It didn't matter what flaws they had, what sins were in their lives, and that's how I try to be. And that's what I do on the mission trip. I work with the youth, and a lot of the kids up there are involved in gangs and just things they shouldn't be. And to know that someone cares for them and can still keep in contact with them, pray for them, and not all the kids get saved, but at least they have someone that they know will be there for them. I probably would have been in another foster home somewhere through Lynchburg DSS, and I probably would have stayed at the group home longer, which wouldn't have been good because I didn't like that place at all. Maybe my relatives would have, tried to keep me for a while, or an adoption or something like that, but I couldn't say for sure. It's hard to picture that because I just wouldn't know where I'd be at. It's kind of scary to think about.